What purpose is the gentleman from Oregon rise? Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Speaker, we have actually completed our withdrawal from Iraq. We are on our way to withdrawing from Afghanistan. There is not a strategic need to increase the base budget for the Defense Department beyond the BCA Budget Control Act agreement. Our own military leaders have acknowledged our debt and deficits are the largest national security threat that our country actually faces. We need to be building on the fiscal foundation the BCA laid in order to provide for our children's future in the military they will need to defend their freedoms. Sticking to the BCA framework is our strategic priority. We should take a moment to remember where we were at this time last year. There was a real threat of government and economic shutdown due to the approaching debt limit. In the very 11th hour, we passed the bipartisan Budget Control Act to forestall a sovereign debt crisis by cutting $900 billion from the deficit and agreeing to cut another $1.2 trillion over the next 10 years. Even still, our national debt has increased by $1.3 trillion since we came to that agreement last August, and in part, this is due to the failure of the Supercommittee to reform entitlements in our tax codes. In the coming months, we need to finish the job we began with the passage of the Budget Control Act, reforming entitlements and instituting comprehensive tax reform, as suggested by the Bowles-Simpson plan, is no longer an option but a national necessity. Changes scheduled to go into effect in January would harm the economy and the middle class, while proving ineffective in true deficit reduction. Backpedaling on the BCA is irresponsible. By holding this body to the bipartisan law we passed last August and reducing our debt by reducing the underlying bill's appropriation by a mere $7.5 billion in Washington, D.C. terms, the amendment before you today will enhance our national economic security. We need to stick to the spending caps and move on from the FY 2013 appropriation process so we can work on getting the next framework put in place to responsibly address what has become known as the fiscal cliff. The American people, businesses in this country, deserve certainty about their future. We need to do right by them, avoid a crisis of our own making, and lay the groundwork for restoring our economy and getting hardworking Americans back to work. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.